Hey everybody, this is Dr. Heather. I'm coming to you live from my kitchen. I get asked all the time, what do you do when you travel? How do you prepare for your travel? So I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're doing tonight in our house to prepare for traveling. So I am heading out tomorrow morning for Keto Academy, where the top doctors, researchers, keynote speakers in the ketone space will be presenting all things new and really what's happening in the ketone world globally. I want to say world nowadays, so we'll be hearing from a lot of amazing speakers, but I'm actually going to get cooking. I know oftentimes I just present information, documentations, keto basic, keto life, hormones, cholesterol. We're going to actually cook tonight. So I actually am getting a few things ready. I have been participating in the keto reboot. So I'm going to show you what I've got going on, which is super simple. So at lunch, I mixed up my peanut butter or sun butter cookies. So it's simply, and I'll put the recipes. So if you want the recipes, just click on the Google Docs up above. A lot of them are already actually on my blog, which is AskDrHeather.net. So I mix these up over lunch. It is 1 cup of nut butter, about a 1/3 cup swerve, and 1 egg. And then I'm actually going to roll them into little balls. So I have my tray already ready to go for my nut butter cookies, and I'm actually going to put these in the oven for 5 minutes, and we're going to make a couple of different things here. Let me get these in and get the timer on. So they will cook for 5 minutes, and then they'll cook for another 5 minutes. But I'm also going to make this new cookie recipe I found, so hopefully I'm going to stand up here, guys. So it actually calls for, it's a coconut cookie. So recipe is this simple. I'll type it out. It actually calls for 4 tablespoons of grass-fed butter, and then it calls for 6 tablespoons of coconut flour, and I do buy the organic coconut flour. I'll hold that up again. I thought I had my measuring. So 6 tablespoons of coconut flour. I do have a lot more recipes and videos on my YouTube channel, so you can always go there, but let's count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know where you're coming from. 5. So 6 tablespoons of high fiber organic coconut flour. I have softened 4 teaspoons of grass-fed butter. So I actually get the stick, sometimes it's easier to measure. And then I simply gonna mix this in here. Then I'm going to put in a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of stevia. So let me get all my butter in there. And I'm not going to eat these tonight because I am still working on my keto reboot. So it calls for 1/2 teaspoon organic vanilla. So I always buy organic vanilla. There is a difference. Sometimes the cheaper ones have gluten in it. They have caramel coloring. So make sure you buy what's a good quality coconut. So I'm gonna put 1/2 teaspoon. Of vanilla. Then it calls for 15 drops of stevia. So I'm probably not going to do the 15 drops, and then we're going to cook it for just 5 to 8 minutes at 350 degrees. So I'm probably only going to do 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a lot of people have egg allergies, so I'm super excited to try this recipe and see how it turns out. It looks like a little coconut macaroon. And then I'm just going to show you a simple trail mix. So all this can be done in just a few minutes. So as I get these stirring up, it looks like our peanut butter, our nut butter cookies, which you can use cashew nut butter, you can use almond butter, peanut butter, sun butter, whatever nut butter you like. And then with this cookie mixture, we're simply just going to roll these into little balls, and then we're going to cook them. I don't know, I haven't made this before and they look a little dry. It seems odd that it doesn't need an egg. So for the peanut butter cookie, again, it's 1 cup of nut butter. It is 1 large organic egg, and the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of swerve, and I only use about 1/3 of a cup. I find it still binds together. So they said it would be flaky, so you can see it's kind of flaky. So I'm actually going to see how this works. I'm going to try to squeeze some little balls out of these cookies. And these again are going to cook for 5 to 8 minutes. And then I'm going to show you a really simple little trail mix that I make. I know there's a lot of allergens going on out there. So when you talk about allergens, when you try to buy a mix bar like a Kind bar or a Quest bar, it's hard to actually keep out things like soybean and lecithin and peanuts. So I just make my own little granola. So I actually toasted coconut, actually burned it. I'll show you. I burned big flakes of unsweetened coconut, which actually kind of tastes like oatmeal. I make my no-bake cookies from that. So these are actually turning out okay. So I'm just gonna put them right here on my cookie sheet. It doesn't make very many, which is good. because it's easy to overeat cookies. I'm actually going to put a smidgen more of butter in there. They seem just a little bit dry. So if you guys have a favorite recipe, share it with me. Let me know. Yes, Jess, I am heading to Dallas in the morning. I am super excited to see everybody. If you guys are participating in the reboot, shout out there, because I know last time we talked about doing the chia pudding, other things, but I want to leave my family some goodies while I am gone. My husband's actually going for the college weekend, so I'm going to send some of these goodies to Pitt State for my kids. Young men, I should say. They actually are in college, 20 and 21. So I'm going to send some of these with myself and my travel partners. I'm going to send some of these with my kiddos. I'm going to leave some at home for my husband and my son that's here. So it looks like we've got about 41 seconds left on the other cookies, so our timing is almost perfect. So I'm going to keep you here just a few minutes because I want to show you how quick and simple it is just to make them. And I'm having to squish these quite a bit. So they are making a nice round ball, but they are a little bit dry. So again, let me know where you guys are coming from. Let me know if you guys eat paleo, if you eat vegan, if you eat low carb, because these are vegan cookies we're making, and they're super high in fat because it's coconut flour. Now, when you use the unrefined coconut flour, it is higher in carbs. So that's why oftentimes I do use almond, because I try to use coconut milk, coconut oil, and other things. I want to make sure that I'm rotating my fats. So this recipe made about 6 little cookies. So, perfect timing. So let's take out our other cookies. I'm going to show you, this is my coconut flakes we're going to make a granola out of. And again, we're going to be super quick here today, guys. And hope I don't spill anything. So I'm actually going to take these cookies out of the oven. I am having a little bit of an issue here, guys. I'm going to show you how my cookies look as they come out, and I'm trying to get my oven reset. There we go. And then I put my other cookies in. I'm going to start that. And then when they come out, the little round peanut butter balls we talked about, you can see I'm trying to hold them up so I don't burn my hands. They come out in little round balls. So what we're going to do is we're going to smash them. You could take a fork and score them like a true peanut butter cookie. So I'm just going to smush them down, and then I like to put 1 piece of dark chocolate right in the middle. I've only had the little nuggets tonight, so I'm actually just going to put them down there. So hopefully you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just smushing them down. Sometimes I have to use a little bit of water on the back of the spoon so they don't stick. Again, this is 3 ingredients and a favorite in our house. And it's fun because you can just make them small little bits. And again, any nut butter will work. When you're using our organic nut butter, make sure that you stir it up, because oftentimes the oil will float to the top and sometimes it can be a little bit greasy. So these will cook for 5 more minutes, and while these are cooking, I've got the other ones in the oven. While these are cooking for 5 more minutes, we're going to make that granola bar, and then we're going to be done. I still have a little bit of cookie dough left, so I'm going to smush these down, and then I'm going to take, you can use any kind of dark chocolate morsel that you like. I use the Enjoy Life because it's gluten-free, dairy-free. It's got dark chocolate, so I am just going to put a little bit of chocolate chips right in the middle. You could put an espresso coffee bean, or again, you could score it with a fork so it looks exactly like an old-fashioned peanut butter cookie, and they taste delicious. You guys can see, so they cook for 5 minutes at 350, and then you just smush them down, put some chocolate or don't put any chocolate, and then you bake them again for 5 minutes at 350, and that's it. I do find that you have to let them completely cool because there's not much of a binder in there, like there's no gluten or anything, so make sure that they completely cool so when you take them off, they don't fall apart. They freeze really, really well, so I'll probably freeze these so I can take them on the plane tomorrow. Look at that timing, guys. That's the 5 minutes on the other cookies, the coconut ones, which were vegan, which were simply 4 teaspoons of grass-fed butter, and it was 6 tablespoons of flour, a little bit of vanilla. Okay. So hopefully you guys have a good vision and can see that. I've been really working on my angles of videotaping. So these coconut cookies are done, and we're gonna smash those down. You can see I just made just a few. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven. Again, these go in here for 5 minutes and then they're done. And then we're gonna make a super quick granola. So again, 5 minutes. My oven's back talking. Minutes. That's what we're gonna do. The next thing we're gonna do is make a super quick granola. Let me get a little bit of a cup. My measurements are never ever exact because when you're working with real flours and things like that, you can see I still have a bunch of cookie dough left, so I'll make another one, but I do want to make this really simple little trail mix. Again, oftentimes when you're buying bars, they have a lot of different stuff in them. So I took coconut and I toasted it for about 4 or 5 minutes. You can see what happens. I burned them a little bit, but it's just a big pieces of the unsweetened shredded coconut, and it works really well in a no-bake cookie, which I have that recipe for, so it acts kind of like oatmeal. So I'm going to just combine probably a whole cup. So I'm going to do a whole cup of the coconut, and I'm doing heaping cups because again for travel. And then I am going to put probably a third of chocolate chips in there, so I don't put any dehydrated fruit. I actually did a little bit less than that, about a fourth. Then I'm going to put, depending on what nuts you have, if you have a nut allergy, I'm not a super big fan of walnuts, but they really have a great omega-369 blend. So I'm going to do a cup of walnuts in there. I do like pecans, so I am going to put a third of a cup of pecans in there. Not a super fan of almonds. I use a lot of almond flour, so I don't try to use a lot of almonds for snacking. And then I am just going to put some sunflower seeds in there. I'm probably just going to dump the whole thing because that seemed to be what works best. So all I'm going to do is mix it up. And there you go, a super easy granola. And again, what the great thing is with a granola, something like this, is that you eat it a little bit slower. You kind of eat it piece by piece. It forces you to chew your food a little bit longer. And then again, you can mix and match what you want. Because again, those bars that are pre-made generally have sugar, they have monk fruit, they have soy, they have sometimes some different additives. This is so easy that you can just make and take it on the go. So that's it, guys. I will post the cookie recipes down below. So we have made 18 nut butter cookies, we made 6 little coconut macaroons, and we made an amazing trail mix, which is super easy to take and travel with tomorrow. So if you're exiting the reboot, these will be great items. Also the chia pudding recipe I'm not going to do tonight, but knowing that these are vegan, they don't have any dairy, it's a perfect little treat, perfect little fat bomb to put in your body. So again, if you guys want the recipes, just click on the document up above and I'll send those to you. You can also subscribe to download your keto guides to kickstart your day in the right way by clicking on Ask Dr. Heather and subscribe. And let me know if you guys have a favorite recipe. I'd love to make your favorite one. I know Nancy shared a couple recipes with me yesterday. I think they're too fancy. She does crystal, beautiful ice rose petals, but I'm gonna give it a go when I get back here in a couple weeks. So you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for cooking with me in my kitchen, and we will definitely get this scheduled for the allergies and the colitis. I know we got 4 or 5 topics that we are working on, so we'll be checking in with you soon. You guys have an amazing day, and everybody I'm gonna see in Dallas, see you there tomorrow.